You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Agreeing to a trade with the Las Vegas Raiders for Davante Adams. Let's bring Adam Schefter in here. Adam, first of all, how did it all go down?
Well, Laura, the Raiders have been insistent that they get a second-round draft pick and not pay down any of Davante Adams' salary. And in the end, they get a conditional third that can become a second and don't pay down any of Davante Adams' salary. The Jets traded a third-round pick that can become a second if Davante Adams is either voted first-team All-Pro or the Jets make it to the AFC Championship game or Super Bowl and he's on the active roster for either of those games. If any of those conditions are met, it then will become a second-round draft pick.
What's the message to the team after losing a guy like Davante?
Next man up, move on. He was out for the last 2 weeks, so we're fine.
That situation is over. Is it kind of like a cloud is gone or relief?
No, just business as usual, and that's how we've been really operating the last couple of weeks.
Losing a guy like him, but what have been some of the positives from the pass catchers that you've seen the last couple of weeks without him in there?
I mean, DJ Turner, I think that's been really impressive for us. More Brock Bowers, I think that's been good. You saw Harrison Bryant as well show up. So I think just all these other guys who had a smaller role now understanding their role is bigger and whatever it is. Like I told them, hey, listen, man, you might only get 3 or 4 catches. But make the most out of them, right? You might get 2 or 3 deep balls down the field. Make the most out of them. You might only be coming in the game just to block. Be the best damn blocker. So everybody understand their role. You never can replace an all-pro receiver like Davante, but at the end of the day, we're not trying to. We're trying to be the best versions of ourselves.
Do you view the Davante trade at all as like a rebuild beginning with the team?
No.
And right there, you hear him. Just because we traded Davante doesn't mean we're in a rebuild. I know that the record says otherwise, and everyone's trying to say in the media it is, but we don't rebuild. We reload, right? That's the phrase?
That's what we're trying to do. Reload it.
Reload it. Just like the Matrix. Are we in the Matrix? I don't know. But anyways, Asylum, I am back home, back in the actual studio, and it feels good because now I feel normal again. I do miss being in Vegas at my godmother's house. I want to thank my godmother for housing me and my family. So we appreciate that. But anyways, Asylum.
I win this one raffle, and she could be housing me shortly too.
Say that again?
I said, hopefully I can win this one raffle, and she could be housing me shortly too.
And she is the halfway home to all Raider fans. That's what she does. So, all right. Anyways, welcome to the Cage Match, episode 65. It was a tough loss. We all saw it. Well, those who were at the game and were able to see it, because It wasn't broadcast in the Bay Area unless you do have the ticket, which I accidentally do have now. So you know how it goes. But welcome to the show. I am the Oakland Raider Savage, and with me as always, it is the Jim Otto of the show, the Cal Ripken Jr., many other nicknames. That means that he's been here for the streak. Every single episode that has ever been aired live. Asylum, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. That loss hurt, but leave it to the Raiders leading up to our show here. Now we got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah.
They gave us a lot of fucking news.
But you know what? The game wasn't that good, but hey, we're going to provide you with a lot of material for all of you content creator shows, and we'll see how everyone interprets that. But anyways, Asylum, before we go to anywhere else, because, it is a Miss Peggy week, but before we go into what we like to call basically the main event at the first hour of the show, let's go into our favorite segment, let me find, where's the graphic at? The shameless plug. There it goes. The shameless plug. Go.
Go. Oh, that's me. Never mind. Everyone go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe. That helps. Thumbs up helps. Hit the bell. That way you know when we have a new video that drops or a new short. We've been doing a lot of shorts lately. Anyways, and if Roger Goodell decides he wants to play games with us like he always tries to do, you can catch us on Facebook on, first and foremost, the Oakland Raiders Savage page or my page, Asylum. After the show, after all this great content, go ahead and go visit WGG and browse their wide order of different things. Maybe get their beginning pack here to get the little shaker. When you're ready to check out, put Cage Match, one word, in the discount code to get 10% off your whole order.
And like we always say, when you think of wins, you think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of Dubby. Get the energy like Max Crosby. Hopefully, when the Raiders start winning again, you remember dubs and dubbies. The whole chain that I just said, because it'll help us with the content that we make for you guys. So go in the discount code, CAGEMATCH, Cage Match, one word, 10% off your entire order. And also, I didn't see him in Vegas, but also go to Raider Nation forlifer.com, www.r4lifer.com. Go there, check out his merch. He has some great stuff. I was trying to get some more stuff because he has some great stuff, but until next time, I will try to find some. But like I always say, I only wear hats for the man himself.
Why don't you go to RNLF4life.com?
Because I want to see it. I want to make sure. I hate waiting for stuff.
Your head swells so much, you gotta make sure the hats fit.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm a big time shot. I'm a big shot, big time, whatever, okay. Go to RFN, go to RN4LFR.com. Go there and make sure you go over there and check that merch out. But also, shouts out to RaiderMan19.com. The Raiderman from Richard podcast will be coming up soon. He is a busy man right now. We got to get him on the show again. He has the Oath merch, so we got to get some of that too. We got to get some of that Oath merch too to show it off. Go there, check his stuff out. You know him. He's the man at the end of the intro. If we want to make sure that we can somehow, some way, because this team needs it, the Raider Oath recited in front of the Allegiant Torch at Allegiant Stadium in front of 65,000 people. Can you imagine him doing that? The Raider Oath from the Oakland Mystique clashing with the new Raider Way, which hopefully starts becoming a winning way now that we're not distracted anymore. But we're trying to somehow, some way get him up there, and that is the mission for the show of the Cage Match right now. But not after, but now we are here after we just finished that now. So, okay, we're here. And it seems like we're here. It seems like every time the Raiders do something big, like when they beat Baltimore in their stadium, or when the Davante trade news broke out, and then now when that's official, Miss Peggy seems to follow that following week to talk about it. Miss Breaking News Peggy. We have a perspective Do you have her intro ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's welcome everybody, Miss Peggy, to the show. Here we go. Oh wait, you didn't put her. Here we go. Sorry, Miss Peggy.
Everybody,
There we go.
I'm so happy to be here with my Raider Kings, and we need to get this ball rolling right away. And I wanted to start with talking about Tom Brady buying in to the Raiders, and a group of people buying into the Raiders. NFL owners approved it. What do you think?
It was Brady
for the franchise.
Yeah, it was Tom Brady, Richard Seymour, which we got to give him his credit. He got 0.5% out of all this, and another businessman all came together and was able to get 10.5% of the Raiders.
Yes.
And so what does this all mean? That's what most people want to know. So now we've got Tom Brady. I just have a question. What evidence do we have that Tom Brady know how to run a franchise?
Well, he's been in business for a little over a year now with Mark Davis and the Aces.
Yeah.
So maybe we're going up to
that basketball? Women?
Yeah, but it's still a franchise, though.
Oh, okay. So, you know, I'm trying to understand, what does Brady know? Of course, we could have a baby John Lynch on our hands, right? Former player, moves up in the San Francisco organization, boom. I mean, magic. But we don't intend a role like that for him, do we? I mean, what's going on?
Well, he apparently, as we've been told, all I've heard is he's going to have some say in the day-to-day operation of the Raiders. Him and Richard Seymour. So hopefully, we've heard Mark Davis say it a few times. I'm not a football guy like my father. So maybe he's trying to get football guys in the building who understand it better than he does and can handle some of the stuff that he doesn't know how to handle right.
Well, we do have a clip, a little 2-minute clip of right after it was made of Mark Davis talking about it, and you know, I guess what he can or cannot say what the role is. We can play that real quick right now.
Yeah, we're excited for Tom Wagner, Tom Brady, and Richard Seymour to become partners in the Las Vegas Raiders. I'd like to thank the Finance Committee, who after a year and a half came up with a unanimous recommendation to approve, and then to my other 31 partners who unanimously approved it as well. It's an exciting day for the Raider organization. It's an exciting day for all three of those gentlemen, and we're looking forward to what they can bring to the Raider organization in the future.
What role do you expect Tom Brady to play in your organization?
You know, it's kind of putting the cart before the horse. We wanted to get to this point first before we started defining anything of that nature and all that, but it's just exciting. What I was going to say is we traded Davante Adams for Tom Brady. And although Tom can't play, I think he can help us select a quarterback in the future and potentially trade him as well. And everybody's going to have a role, whether it's that. But, you know, I don't know if you're aware, but they did pass a rule last year or earlier this year that limited partners in a team cannot work for the team. So they can't be an employee at this time. So unless that changes in the near future, that's something that's going to restrict him from having a real role.
But these are respected voices to you that
absolutely
have your ear. Yeah.
I mean, Richard Seymour just went into the Hall of Fame. He played for the Raiders. He played for my father. There was mutual respect between the two of them. And we're really proud to have Richard as part of our organization.
And Tom, in the same vein with Tom just being a voice that, you know, will have a...
Well, Tom is somebody that for many years I didn't like very much. But, you know, we've been through those situations before, and really it's the people that make the call. It's not the guys that play. And he did admit that it was a fumble. So those are important aspects of the situation. But, yeah, we're just really proud to have him as part of this organization. He's a competitor. He's a bright young man. There's just so many pluses for both sides. It's just great.
It doesn't count unless he says it on camera. He has to say it on camera.
Thank you, Mark, for allaying the fears of Raider Nation. It was a fumble. Okay, we don't need Tom to tell us that. We've been knowing that for 20 years. But now I still go back to what experience. You see, this smells to us like Mark once again trying to give the job of running this franchise to somebody else. I mean, he's constantly always trying to shift that responsibility. Now, owner must rely on his football guys, no doubt. But why do we get the feeling that Mark, he'd just rather go out and play somewhere? You know, be doing
because he just recently became a billionaire when he moved to Vegas. And now you're in Vegas, you're a billionaire. You don't want to do nothing but go play. You got nothing but time on your hands. I mean,
Savage, I mean, why do we get the feeling that once again Mark is trying to get somebody else to run this franchise? I mean, he's always been trying to do it since he took over, if you'll notice. I mean, he's always transferring that duty. And I guess that's what people say. How can you learn the game and learn the culture and meet people and know people if you don't get personally involved?
Well, maybe he is, like whatever happens to the Raiders, hey, it's not my fault. I'm just the owner. I got other football guys that you guys know of that's won championships or whatever. You could put it on them. That could be one thing.
That sounds like a millennial.
This is the times that we live in, okay? We live in the millennial matrix, all right? I don't know. I mean, it seems, I'm not trying to be all conspiracy or whatever, but he tried the Patriot way with McDaniels. That didn't work out. Tom Brady, he does have the him and Tom Brady own the Aces out there in Vegas. They won their 2 championships in a row before this season. So the last 2 seasons. So maybe.
Hold on, you said conspiracy.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Oh, yeah.
Hold on, you said conspiracy. Hold on. We got to put the hats on.
No, it's just that it's that sneaking feeling again that instead of rolling his sleeves up, getting his hands dirty, really trying to learn about the game, he's once again trying to pass it off to somebody else. And I think that's been the main criticism of Mark over the last 12 years, is that he really hasn't learned about football sufficient enough to make some really important decisions, like who the coach should be, okay? Who the OC should be. He's just not knowledgeable of the game, and he knows he's not knowledgeable. Is he fine with that? I mean,
it seems like it.
$1 billion.
I do think there's a little bit more to the sale, though. I do think the sale has to do because once his mom, and we all know it's going to happen eventually. It happens to all of us. Once his mom passes, he has an inheritance tax he's going to have to pay, and I think that's a big reason why this money's here. Is I don't know. I haven't heard nothing. I don't got no insiders telling me shit. But maybe she's not doing well, and he's trying to prepare in that aspect and be able to have somebody who could run the team, help him do while he's dealing with the aftermath of that, because that is a taxing time in your life. When you got to deal with it, you don't want to deal with outside things. You want to do your grieving process. And so he's trying to put people in the right place to be able to handle it. So,
but he doesn't know enough about
even Mark Davis is 69 years old himself. So, and he has nobody else after him. There's no spouse. There's no children. There's nobody else after Mark Davis. So that can also be a factor where I'm going to give it to Richard Seymour, who was a former Raider towards the end of his career, and Tom Brady, who in his time playing, the 20 years he played, 7 rings, 6 with the Patriots, and then that last one with Tampa Bay. So maybe that's going to be the heir apparent if anything happens to him also. Him being that last that last part of the Davis football family, Carol and then Mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I just want to put those questions out there when we're talking about Mark bringing in Brady, bringing in Seymour, all these people. He's always bringing someone else in. Now, I'm not going to repeat some of the other rumors that I heard when we're talking about what Mark does with his free time. But don't we all wish that
Does it involve the bunny ranch?
Yeah, that's the money. But don't we all wish he had just immersed himself in the game itself? How studied the Pittsburghs of the world, the well-run, the Rams, those good, well-run franchises, to determine how do you put together a championship team? I mean,
whatever you do, don't have Jerry Jones.
Well, the the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the why am I forgetting their last name?
Rooney?
The Rooney. So the Rooney family. I mean, that was like passed down, and so Rooney had a lot of people involved. Like his family was already involved. Al Davis. It was just Al Davis. And maybe if we still had John Madden, maybe if we would have involved John Madden earlier, like maybe right after he retired from broadcasting, or like Tom Flores, like within the front office. I know he was part of the radio, but like front office, like somebody of who knows Raider, the Raider way, not Raider way, but the Raider, how the Raiders are, the mystique or whatever you want to call it, to carry on while Al Davis was still around to teach. Maybe we should have had Amy Trask take over, since she was right there next to him.
We all know the story about how Mark, really wasn't crazy about his dad's guys. But the problem is what Mark did first right out of the box in 2012 was to not hire anybody with great football franchise experience. He hired a GM with zero experience, and the GM hired a head coach with zero experience, and I called them the three blind mice.
At the Three Stooges?
Guys who had zero experience. I don't know what he was thinking he was going to be, what he was going to magically create. And I mean, it's just been a struggle ever since. He doesn't understand how to fit the puzzle pieces together, and he hasn't learned.
Asylum?
No, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, I think Mark might hope that he has some of the same magic his dad did when, he was able to put some shit together. Because
he doesn't have it. He knows he doesn't have it. But in the 12 years that
even a blind dog finds a bone every once in a while.
I mean, get down and start scratching the surface of what you own. This is your team. And I don't understand why there's not a personal investment in knowing the product that you produce. I've never seen a successful businessman do that. On the other hand, all those people out there that keep saying, sell the team, okay? Why in the world would Mark do that? You see it down there, $6.2 billion. Why would Mark sell the team? Why would he even care what we think about how he's run his franchise? But I just wish he loved the game like his father did.
Yeah, and if you see this chart, they say that Mark Davis, what he lacks in football knowledge, like his dad had, Al Davis, he made up in business. And as you can see, Mark Davis took a franchise that was in and out, like close to where Al Davis almost sold.
All he did was move. That didn't take great business acumen. I don't know a single corporation in this country that whose owners, board of directors, CEOs, whatever, don't know the product that they're selling intimately.
I said they said. I didn't say I said. I said they said.
All he did was move.
You opened your mouth, now you got to taste the rap.
Don't call it Mayflower. You know, Mayflower movers. Hello, can you help pack me up and move?
My insider said on the radio that
no, my insider in my head said Mark Davis knows business. He doesn't know football.
Yeah.
Well,
and I guess he's trying to show that I guess he's trying to show that I don't know football. That's why I'm trying to add these people: Tom Brady, Richard Seymour, all these people that know football because you watched them play. That I'm trying to have them let them run it, and then we can win because I don't know football.
How's that working out for him? Only thing he's got is a big payroll writing checks to people who are no longer here.
Right, he can write a check to me.
Happens when you don't know the product you are selling. He's got to know the product and how to assemble a championship team. I'm sure there are people out here that know that. Why isn't he listening? I mean, why does he think he knows how to do it a different way? Why, I guess, because it's his playground. Now, we got to move on.
Because he grew up watching his dad do it a different way.
Well, so but his dad still knew the game. He knew the X's and O's. Mark knows he doesn't know the X's. His dad knew what he knew because he knew the X's and O's. I mean, he knew intimately coaches, players, college networks. He was tapped into all the things that are necessary to bring a championship team together. Mark knew he didn't have that. Instead of 12 years, hell, he could have got a PhD by now. Why didn't he want to learn? That's the one thing that, and believe me, I have all the respect in the world for Mark because it ain't easy being an owner. And I ain't shedding no tears.
Oh, it ain't easy being under Al Davis' shadow. Just ask any coach after Tom Flores.
Hey, tell me about it. I mean, but even his dad in the last 9 years, I mean, he handed Mark a franchise that was essentially burned to the ground. Bad draft picks, 6 coaching choices, 100 losses. 100 losses in that 9-year period. And that's why I'm saying what we fought Mark for is not getting better. That's the key. Not getting, and I know he wants to. I know he wants to very bad. But we got to move on because we need to talk about Davante.
Davante Adams.
Now, did not we talk 2 weeks ago, and I have to admit it, I said to myself, they're going to work this out. They just got to, because nobody's going to pick up that big contract. What happened, Asylum? Tell us what happened.
The Jets decided they're going to pick up the fucking. Well, no, hold on. I'm not going to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers decided he wanted Davante Adams. The coach got fired. He went to that front office and said, "Now get me my boy because now we'll win." And now Davante Adams is a Jet. His hamstring is magically healed.
Yeah,
he's right where he wants to be.
Miss Peggy, have you seen the Pat McAfee interview with Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, I have, and I don't want to see it again, but what I do want to talk about is the misconception that Aaron Rodgers is pulling on the strings. Let's look at the Jets for the last 30 years. They've never been right about anything.
No.
Think about it. They haven't had a quarterback that has worked out in over 35 years. I think
Joe Namath.
Don't know. I mean, they had this child was named Brockington or something. He ended up in Miami, but between Joe Namath and this guy in the 80s, they didn't have anybody. Oh yeah, don't forget about that great draft class of '83, right? They did get quarterback, right? Kevin. Oh my God, my names are just slipping me tonight. But they did get a quarterback out of the class 83. I thought he was something, but Joe Walton was his coach. So I knew why that was a bust. The Jets haven't been right about anything. I mean, look at the string of quarterbacks that they drafted. Geno Smith, right?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah.
Wilson. They haven't been right about anything.
Sanchez.
O'Brien.
Now, wait a minute. Sanchez did go to 2 AFC title games, guys.
I guess.
Take it away. Of course, he'll always be remembered for the
Ken O'Brien.
The butt
Ken
fumble.
O'Brien. That's from the class of 83, right? And but between 83 and Aaron Rodgers, what have they had? Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been dumpster diving and wrong in the draft, and not just with quarterbacks. It's just been a parade of mistakes that have been
They had
made.
Chad Pennington, and
Pennington is the one I'm thinking about. That's who I'm thinking about.
Chad Pennington. I think that was the last time that they won a playoff. No, when the last time they won the AFC East was in 2002, and they had Chad Pennington, and then we beat them. Of course, we're on our way to the Super Bowl that year. But yeah, Vinny Testaverde. So
I mean, they've been dumpster diving. They are the kings of dumpster diving, and I think not only that, they made other moves, and so this Adams move, I think it's because they know the AFC East is wide open. Anybody can do that.
Do you think it's funny that and we seen that also on the same day Amari Cooper was traded to the Bills. The Bills, what are the Bills? 4-2 right now, I believe, or 5-1?
No, they're not 5-1.
The Bills are panicking is what they are right now. Anytime you go out and get Amari Cooper, you know you're not thinking straight, okay?
But
what are we talking
it's
about
like,
now?
why would you, as for Davante, why would you leave a 2-4 Raider team to a 2-4 Jets team who just fired their head coach? They have their interim coach. They just benched their offensive coordinator for Todd Downing, who used to be our offensive coordinator, who didn't do that well when we had him in Jack Del Rio's last year of coaching. So is it about winning, or is it about, I just want to play with my buddy?
I think it's hey, Savage. It's got to be I want to play with Sonny. Now let's go over these numbers. I mean,
all right.
We talked about the cap the dead cap for the Raiders. I think the Raiders got off cheap. What do you think?
I think this is perfect. I know there's people complaining that we got fleeced. You know, it's only a 3rd round pick. But the main thing is, look at these numbers that we don't have to deal with. We only got, the 13 million, which we've already dealt with this year. So I'm going to take that one off. And we don't got to deal with 15 million next year. But they got to deal with the rest of his contract or the rest of his salary this year. And then they're going to deal with, if they keep him, $36 million for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and then
that were attached. Yeah.
You know, and we heard it. All he's got to do is either be an all-pro, and what was left out of that is an all-pro 1 or an all-pro 2, first team or second team. Make the championship game. And we get a 2nd round pick. We get what we want, and they take the contract. The only way he's not going to be an all-pro with Aaron Rodgers is if they end up sitting him in games, saying, all right, we don't want you to be an all-pro, so you're not going to sit because we don't want to give up a 2nd round. And you think he's going to – you really think Davante Adams is going to sit there and take that after what he did with us? He complained about he had a win and complained that he didn't get the ball enough after we won a game. He's not going to sit on the sideline and not be Davante Adams. So I expect, in all honesty, at the end of this season, that 3rd rounder is going to be a 2nd round pick, just like what we wanted. And the Jets are stuck with the whole contract that we gave them to begin with.
And oh, by the way, on a 32-year-old, wide receiver. See, people keep forgetting how age matters in the NFL when you're a GM trying to get young, trying to get cheap, get those salaries down within that rookie salary range. You're looking at things like that. I think the Jets deal was the best deal he could get. And I don't think we could have gotten a deal like this from anybody else. What are you thinking?
Well, yeah, that's true because it seemed to have slowed down last week, especially after the Jets got fired their head coach, and then Derek Carr got hurt with the oblique. It just seemed kind of slow down. That was the idea. Well, maybe he can, like you said, maybe hey guys, I was just joking. I still want to be a Raider. I still got my Taco Bell in my house. I ain't ready to leave.
Well, you gotta remember when all that
Taco Bell thing. All the Taco Bell thing.
Talk about him staying with the Raiders, and then my question was, I had the one question I asked it on every show, in the comments of every podcast I was seeing. Do you think the Raiders as a team would have accepted Davante Adams back after he fucking quit on the team?
I don't see the evidence that he quit on us. I think he really, this is just my personal view. I think when he saw Carr get forced marched out of here, disgraced, disgraceful treatment, he thought to himself, damn, that could be me. I need to see whether these guys are going to fix this. And he gave him a season to fix it. Only thing he got was a fired head coach, an interim head coach, and more dumpster diving for a quarterback.
Well, I just want to say this would be a great place to buy for Airbnb. Can you imagine how much money you can make for not just renting to somebody, but then also having a business inside the house, especially in Las Vegas, when after you go out and party and drink? After you go out and party and drink, what do you usually go to? Taco Bell. Okay, that's what you do because you want to get all the toxins out. It'll help with the digestive system. That's over here in the Bay, in the Jack in the Box.
Yeah, it was Jack in the Box. But my argument about him quitting on the team, I don't believe that hamstring was real. I don't think that hamstring injury, I don't believe was real.
Well, whether it's real or not, he the Jets' problem now, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it.
I want to transition from this to talking about what our problem is. It is not just replacing Davante, okay? It's getting the production out of those wide receiver position with an offense that only runs within a 15 to 20-yard box so far, okay? And now we have to talk about the Steelers game. I mean, we absolutely have to talk about this because Asylum, you said you saw two things. You saw mixed things.
Okay, never mind.
I saw some mixed things. I mean, I did see some good out of this game. We were seeing, with O'Connell in there, you were seeing the quick throws, which opened up the run. The run was working when Aiden O'Connell was doing the quick throws, letting his receivers.
The run never worked. 57 yards. It never worked.
Well, no, it was starting to. Our problem going. We had other issues. Turnovers, 3 turnovers, and a block punt. We gave them. I remember I was just watching the game today, and we were coming out of halftime or just about to go into halftime, and they said that the Steelers had 30 plays on offense already at that point. And 14 of those plays, we'll call it half, were in the Raiders' side of the field. You cannot be getting turnovers. Well, turnovers, the block punt. Now, you can't blame O'Connell. You can't blame the quarterback for those fumbles. That's not on the quarterback. Now, his interception, I will give him at least half the credit on that. He was trying to do too much, just like we heard with Derek Carr all the time. The interception is on O'Connell. But the fumble and the block punt is not on O'Connell, and that's on the rest of the team.
I understand, but we're a team that cannot survive those many mistakes. And the reason we can't survive those many mistakes is because of the fundamental philosophy of our offense. It does. Taco Bell explains a lot. But wait a minute. The fundamental problem is our offense is still broke down. We don't throw deep. No one respects us. They're still putting 5 and 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. I mean, our O-line is slowly but surely getting better. They didn't give up any sacks, right?
Yeah.
We want to talk about some of the good things. We know we lost the game. It looked bad. But you take away those turnovers, and it's a competitive game.
No, exactly.
I mean, what do you think?
I mean, and the offensive line, like I said, I said this not 2 weeks ago, because you were on 2 weeks ago. I think I said it last week when O'Connell was named the starter. We need to start seeing these short passes, not the ones behind the line of scrimmage, because those have not worked for us at all. I don't give a fuck who the quarterback is. We always get blown up. We need those quick passes. Those quick passes, the West Coast offense. Joe Montana made a career off of this shit on those dinks and dunks and let your playmakers make plays. And that was working for us. You saw it with Bowers. You saw it, going. It was opening up the run.
Then why does Getsy, as my father used to say, you keep doing it until they stop it? Why doesn't he keep doing it?
That was my argument too.
I completely agree with that, and I can't speak for Getsy. I don't know. Getsy's been conservative, and I was actually talking to Savage about this. I don't know if it's Getsy seeing AP be conservative in some of his coaching, so he's being conservative because they're worried about losing their jobs. Whatever the situation is, I agree. We need them both to open up and start making
be aggressive.
What?
But just look at the receiving stats, and this just so blew me away. When I realized that we did not make one deep pass downfield the whole day. Every offensive play ran within the box. After Bowers, look at the deep drop off.
Hold on. Hold on, Peggy. What do you consider a deep play? How many yards?
Oh, I'm talking about throwing the ball at least 40 to 50 yards in the
40,
air.
50 yards. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. But let's go back. Looking at the receiving stats, and oh, by the way, don't tell me we don't have enough time. The offensive line can give you that time. But let's look at the receiving stats. After Bowers, everything drops off a cliff. You got just 2 passes to Turner, right?
Turner got rocked, though, on a play that should have been flagged. And
number 50 came in late and hit it. But, we can talk about flags, but, as my dad also said, only losers talk about penalties. But let's go back to how the deep drop off. 5 passes to Madison, again, within that 15 to 20-yard box. Where are the passes to Tucker?
There was none.
You see, if you're talking about running a team, AP, without Davante, he doesn't matter. He's not here anymore. You're going to have to target Turner, the guy McAllister. You're going to have to target those guys repeatedly. You must get them involved in the offense. And God darn it, Getsy, you have to get them out of those 5 and 6 man fronts. The only way to do it, they have to fear your deep ball. I can't. Another way?
And that's what I was saying, because they had O'Connell throw that first drive. They had him throwing the ball, and he was getting down the field, and they ended up scoring.
There were no deep routes at all.
Well, I'm just saying in general. That because they know that he does have that deep ball, the defense does, but after that it was trying to force the run. There was a play where it was on first and 10, and O'Connell went and found Bowers for an 18-yard reception. They got called back for holding. First and 20, run. Why are you running on 1st and 20? At least, I don't know, play action or something. And I was at the game and I'm just noticing, like, why are we being so conservative? Go at him again. They're not stopping O'Connell if you let him throw. And then towards the end, on that last drive where he scored, where the Raiders scored, O'Connell was just throwing the ball that, even if it was dink and dunk, it was working. But we kept trying to force
a lot of time off the clock when you play it that way. I mean, I'm just saying our problem is the philosophy and the conception of the offense itself. It's really where all of the team's problems start. You can't conceive a game where you use the entire field. And that's what we don't have. We don't have an offensive coordinator that can conceive a game that uses the whole field to move the ball. And that's our problem. And that's why they're 5 and 6 man fronts. And that's why they're stopping us from running, clogging up all our running lanes, because we're not going to hurt them deep.
And I think they should start opening that playbook, because I know in the beginning of the season we were trying to figure out offensive line. the Tech Mobile playbook. No, I'm just joking. No, but they just have to start, because even like Hondo, the writer Hondo Carpenter said that there's a lot of different plays and everything that the playbook, if they open it up, that can really work. And they showed a little bit of that. Was that last week and against the Ravens also? Not last week, but 2 weeks ago against the Browns and the Ravens. The Ravens game, the 2 victories that they had. But I know we kept blaming it on the offensive line early in the season, but with Glaze on that right side, TJ Watt had no pressures, so Glaze has been taking leaps and bounds each game, maybe even being that permanent right tackle. And you have JPJ on the other side playing left guard. I know we're having injuries. Mine and the silence problem is really at center, because we don't really believe in Andre James. He had a holding penalty that like I said, took back. Yeah, so we didn't agree with the 3-year contract that he signed in the offseason. We were like, just let him walk. We have Parham could be in the middle, play that center, get another guard, which we did with JPJ, and even JPJ can play center. But this line is starting to form, and they're starting to O'Connell saying a statue. He's going to get sacked every time, especially with TJ. TJ Watt is going to get sacked like 8 times. TJ Watt he had no pressures. O'Connell was sacked the 1 time for 9 yards, but for him being a statue, he got sacked less times than Minshew has got sacked in a game many times this season as a Raider. So the line is forming.
Very good Pittsburgh defense, which then begs the question, why are we not using the entire field? I mean, I think it's a question that Getsy has to address now that Adams is gone. Okay, we have to develop a deep passing game. Imagine if everybody who plays us from now on doesn't have to fear the deep ball, doesn't have to fear getting burned by a 40-yard catch and run, a 30-yard catch and run. Imagine what that does. I mean, they're going to stack 7 people in the box.
And I think this was O'Connell's first game, just like last season. His first game as the named starter. He's got to get this rhythm. He didn't get to start the season like everyone expected him to do and go, yeah, I'm not saying he hasn't worked with the first stringers, because he has this year. So he has that rapport with the players.
Yeah, rapport.
He has that rapport.
Guys, think about it this way, and I think I did mention this a couple of weeks ago, is that I thought it was a great idea to start Minshew. You know why? Minshew did not come here to sit on the bench behind Aiden O'Connell. He came here because Telesco promised he would be the starter. There's no other explanation for leaving a very comfortable situation in Indianapolis. That being said, now Minshew can't say we didn't give him a chance, can he?
Nope. And
There's
I agree
no
with that.
quarterback controversy because he was given the opportunity to step up and lead this team, and he didn't do it. End of discussion. There's no quarterback controversy. That's one thing that's really distracting in a locker room and distracting for the press and the media and the fans. You know, oh, Minshew should have been the starter. If we had started O'Connell, that's where we'd be right now. Now, Minshew's off the table. And I think that was smart. So now you're talking
and
about...
I actually said something similar at the beginning of the season, you know, going that route. And now it's just O'Connell's got to get comfortable. O'Connell looked like he, from the get-go, even in preseason, looked like he had command of this offense. And now he's just got to go out there and start.
But did you see that interception? It reminded me of Minshew's interception. The way Minshew threw that ball when Bowers was wide open in that end zone the week before. I mean, what were you throwing to? I think he lets a lot of balls get away like that. The other thing is, I think he wastes a lot of passes too. I mean, O'Connell threw 40 times. Okay? And mainly because we had no running game, at least in the second half. And when you throw 40 times, you got to have, I mean, I like the completion rate, but there's an efficiency that he needs to get. And I think you're right, Asylum. He'll get it as he has more starts, as he gets back acclimated to being out there, you know, ducking bullets, to actually having play experience. But that doesn't account for the fact that Getsy is not calling plays that makes a defense get up off of that line of scrimmage. Makes those linebackers and safeties, they're not scared of us. They're not scared of our receivers either.
Well, on that note, I remember a lot of the same shit being talked about Patrick Graham when he was on the sideline and going, you know, I remember fans calling for his head until he got moved up into the box. Then he got moved up into the box.
That's
and the Patrick Graham
system
system.
happened to Hardegree last year too. His play calling at least looked the more imaginative when he could see it. So why do the Raiders have to reinvent the wheel? Why didn't we start Getsy up in the box? Since we know
I can't answer. But they're talking about putting him in the box.
We always have to do things 2 or 3 times before we understand this is the way you do it. This is what goes back to my original talk about Mark Davis and how to run a franchise. I mean, there are too many numerous examples of well-run franchises. Franchises that manage to put a good product on the field. Well, heck, Kansas City, you know. I mean, why is it that we have to always...
Well, I think the answer to that starts with continuity, consistency, and not firing everybody after a fucking season.
No, this is a universal football rule. OC sees the game better up top.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. And then also, who else is in that box? Who else is going to be in that box that he can confer with? Joe Philbin. Exactly. So then you can work together and make, you know, and go. I agree. I like the idea of him going back in the box. And you can even ask Savage early on in the season. I had asked that question: is he going to be on the field or is he going to be in the box?
Yeah, even AP was asked that question.
Yeah.
He said, "We'll see."
And I really want to say again, fans, do not despair. I think this team is a lot of. What do we got? The Rams coming up. Now, boy, I mean, the other part is when I hear people talk about how bad the Raiders are. Oh no. We got company. Lots of company, the Browns, the Panthers. I mean,
the Bengals.
The Bengals.
I mean, we got company. when it comes to bad football being what's going on in Miami. I mean, they think that Tua coming back is going to help, but I don't know if he can see through them cobwebs, right? I don't know if he can think that. I mean, a quarterback with a concussion problem? Do I really want him out there? I mean,
it works for Steve Young. I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, it did until Steve's little legs couldn't run no more. Then he couldn't escape his problems, and he retired. And so I'm just saying, do not despair. This is a work in progress. I've got to run, but I know that it looked bad last week, but I didn't see it that way.
Well, can I ask?
A lot of things working that hadn't worked before.
Can I ask one question?
The question is, who was the quarterback at the time?
Exactly, Minshew.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
You know how everyone is like they're jumping ship. AP needs to get fired. AP needs to get fired.
Oh no, I'm definitely sticking around to talk about this craziness. Not only the AP, the tanking for the season.
Oh, I can't stand that talk. I can't stand that fucking talk.
The ref calls, which I said, and I'll say it again, only losers talk about ref calls having been the reason why you lost a game. And then we want to talk the people who fired Getsy, right? I've even heard a few people talking about fire Graham, as if Graham's defense was the reason we gave up 32 points. Look at what, I mean, come on. This is craziness. And Asylum, you have said it again and again, and so have you, Savage. Stability and continuity are our main problems. I'd rather have a stable bad team than a bad team that changes their dress like a teenage girl on Saturday night. Please, y'all, don't get on my case. No letters and emails, please. Teenage girl changing her outfit, trying to decide what she want to do. That's the way Raider fans think football's run. And that goes back to Madden thinking, fantasy football thinking. They think that coaches and players are just movable parts, right? Push a button. Oh, I can change this. I can change the pit. Oh, and the other people complaining about the number of Steeler fans in Vegas Stadium. How many times have we got to tell you, A, the average NFL fan can no longer afford to go to a game. You got to find rich people with bucks to spend or wherever you can find them. Number two, it's Vegas. You're going to see we are not in Oakland anymore. It was a wonderful run. 50 years of just memories that will never go away. But we're in Vegas now. And everybody wants to come to Vegas. Like someone was saying, even that little housewife in Mendocino, Ohio, she said, oh, good. You know, I get to travel to see my Steelers play. I mean, she saves up her money. She going to blow her wad going to Vegas. And she's going to buy her ticket. And if you look, I was looking at the San Francisco game, and in San Francisco Stadium, all in the 100 sections on both sides of the field, number Cardinal fans. I was shocked. In Detroit, any NFL city on any given Sunday, you will see.
Well, how many times have the Raiders fans done it to other stadiums? I remember a time.
I remember
a time we went to Miami, and the Miami coach said, "Don't sell your tickets to Raiders fans. I don't want to see a sea of black in the stadium." It always happened.
Rick Sperano. I mean, I'm just saying, stop complaining about things that aren't going to change. Start looking at things that need to change, like Getsy. And the way Getsy looks at the game himself, he has got to start using the entire field. He's got to start making those young guys targets. I don't care if you throw at them 5 times and you don't hit them at all. You got to give the defense the idea that you're not afraid. Right? I mean, Connor, there's no way Tucker should have any games with no catches. He's your speed demon, and he has hands. He runs decent routes. Have you seen the routes that they run?
He had eye surgery, so he can see better.
Right. Ever since he had his eye fixed, it's been a whole different.
I can't understand a game where you don't target him at all.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope now that Davante Adams, that's a dead issue now, and O'Connell going into a second start this weekend versus the Rams. He can see what he did wrong on the tape, whatever. They can put to bed the Davante Adams thing, and now incorporate everybody without. I don't want to say having Davante Adams overlook what you're doing, but he's out the building now. The offense. Let's see what you can do after him. Let him know that we didn't need you. If you want to be here, let him know that we don't need you Adams to make this offense go. Everyone thinks that like you said, we're tanking or we're on a rebuilding now because we got rid of Adams when Adams wasn't even the most productive receiver on the roster. It was Jacoby Myers and now Brock Bowers, the rookie that everyone wishes that we had a quarterback, but our rookie tight end has been the number one target, and he's finding himself open. Like you say, Miss Peggy, how come Davante can't get himself open? All the defense knows is going to Bowers, and Bowers is finding himself open to catch these passes. So let's see what happens.
That won't happen for very long unless Getsy changes the way he's thinking, his whole conception of his game plan. That's not going to happen for long. Instead of them triple teaming Davante, they'll start triple teaming Bowers. So I mean, you have to make other guys viable targets. I throw at them, and I don't care if they're incomplete. Keep throwing, keep running those deep routes, keep trying. You need at least every series of down to go deep once, and I mean it because. We have a problem where no one respects our deep passing game. No one. That's why they're stacking 5, 6, 7 people on a line of scrimmage. And go back to one thing before I run. Those people calling for AP to be fired. And I'm going to call.
I've even heard Telesco needs to be fired.
Oh, but more. I have seen people on Facebooks, respected people who have very large followings, silver and black, listing all the reasons why Pierce should be fired at Game 6. And I could not believe anybody could be that short-sighted and not understand what this franchise's problem is. That's a person who doesn't understand the game. They think they understand the game, but they don't. The last thing, and I said it, the last thing the Raiders need is yet their third interim coach in 4 years. Do you have any idea what you're proposing? That's madness, insanity. You are in the Twilight Zone. I mean, do not listen to these so-called knowledgeable football players, football columns and Facebook pages that are talking about get rid of this guy, that's a person who's talking about something a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Far away.
Yes. They are not of this universe. They do not understand that the Raiders do not need to be replacing folks just after they replaced everybody last year. It makes no sense. And
I live in a galaxy far, far, long time ago, far, far away. I'm right south of Oakland, so I get it, but I'm not saying fire AP. I'm on because we said earlier, I asked before the season, the realistic expectations. I know what we want. I know what we would like, but he's a rookie head coach. You got to allow him to learn his mistakes.
And don't they let other rookie head coaches all over the league Don't they let them screw up?
The Lions.
Yeah, I was going to say. I remember one Campbell.
No Judge and the Giants. I mean, we could talk about all these first-time head coach Staley with the Chargers. I mean, he got 3 years, and we knew he was a mess up the first year he was here. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I can't understand people that are demanding that the franchise further destabilize itself.
Yeah.
3 interim coaches in 4 years, really? That must be a record. Can you guys look that up somewhere? 3 interim. This is what your best proposal is. Get rid of AP. And what do the young people say? SDFU. I mean, there's no other way you can. I can't believe that anybody don't listen to them. We need continuity, and even if it's bad football, we need stability. We honestly do, at least for 2024. Let's not have any more drama. Anyway,
welcome to being a Raider fan.
I know. We got to get our dose, right? You know,
yeah. Keeping liquor stores open since 1963.
That's right. Man, keeping the Mexican tequila makers love us. I mean, they got special shipments with Raider fans written all over it. Anyway, we will talk soon, and see you in 2 weeks.
All righty. I hope there's no crazy news.
It will be. We've been fortunate enough to have that. Anyway, we'll talk soon. Bye.
Yes. All right. Asylum. Have that. Oh, she left. Okay. Well, still, you can still play it. Bye, Miss Peggy.
Oh, you want
got it? Yeah, the outro, which is the intro.
I was dealing with
And she left faster than Davante Adams did going over to the East Coast. Okay, anyways. We want to thank you, Miss Peggy, for coming on the show. She always comes on when there's breaking news. So that means, do we put it on the books?
She always comes on hard hitting, too.
I know.
You have to be prepared for Peggy. Just ask Savage about the first time she came on the show.
CT is not real. Miss Peggy comes on this season. Every time she came on, happened right after some big news. First it was, like I said, the win against the Ravens. Then after that, it was the talks or Davante saying he wants to trade. And then now it was the day after Davante Adams decided that, no, I'm sorry, let's start over. Davante Adams left already on a jet plane. Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again to the Jets. But there was news, like we said, there was news. So
there was also more news, more than just Davante Adams, with the whole Richard Seymour and Tom Brady getting their ownership. And I mean, it wasn't just a small news day with just Davante Adams. It was a whole lot of fucking news today. All right, on this show.
So I got it ready. So with that, let's just recap what has happened. It wasn't even within the week. It was just yesterday. So here we go with our CMN news update.
This is CMN, a cage match news update.
Okay, first one, you know the big story. Huh? Oh, yeah, thank you, James Earl Jones. R.I.P. Now, of course, the big story, okay, was former Raider receiver has now been shipped to the East Coast. Amari Cooper, Raiders former wide receiver Amari Cooper has been traded to the Buffalo Bills, and I messed up on this, for a 25 third round and a 26, supposed to be a 7th round pick. That's what the Bills get. I'm sorry, that's what the
got that confused there because the Browns had to give up a 6th-round pick.
Yes, that's why I messed up on. So the Browns get a 2025 3rd-round pick and a 26 7th-round pick, and the Bills get the receiver Amari Cooper and a 2025 7th-round pick. So they get Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper goes to a winning team that is right now leading the AFC East, which I think was it 4-2?
4-2.
4-2. Now, which leads me to, of course, the big news is Davante Adams officially has been traded to the New York Jets for a conditional 3rd-round pick. And as we said earlier, the details of that transaction has been... I'm waiting for this video to end. Oh, no, it'll go. Okay, there he goes. We're going to play that video, that creepy video that you see right there. The Honey, I'm Home video. Davante Adams officially traded to the Jets. The Jets receive wide receiver Davante Adams and his full contract. The Raiders receive a conditional 3rd-round pick that can turn into a second. I don't know what happened, Maybe I was high altitude. Let me go in my radio voice. The Raiders receive a conditional 3rd-round pick, turns to a second if Adams is either 1, an All-Pro, voted All-Pro or second All-Pro, 2, on the roster in an AFC Championship game with the Jets, or 3, on the roster in the Super Bowl for the New York Jets.
It's something I did hear on another podcast, which I don't believe, but it was said by somebody, and I was put it out there. Another podcaster put out, if they made the Super Bowl, it's supposed to be a 1st-round pick.
Oh, so I don't want to root for him to go to the Super Bowl. Let's just root for him to do good.
Hold on. You say that, but now what would you rather have? Davante Adams in the Super Bowl and hope that statement is right, get the 1st-round pick, or have the Chiefs and Mahomes in the Super Bowl again?
You're going to give me that one, huh? Okay. But who are they playing? The Niners? Nope.
I don't give a fuck who they're playing.
I don't see the Niners going to the Super Bowl, Douglas Sinclair. I haven't seen them yet, but just in case, I feel like we're safe. So I guess, yeah, we'll have the Jets go to the Super Bowl, then they lose, then Aaron Rodgers retires, now Davante has to find a new home, and they're chilling with Diddy. Get your baby oil ready. Let's play that cringe. And how my sister would say, that cringe. Let's play that cringe video that everyone saw. Now, first, hold on, before we play the video, I want to ask, okay, Asylum, you had said that
I said a lot of shit.
I know, but you had said that the hamstring injury seems because of the timing.
I'm going to say because of the timing, yes.
Now, Amari Cooper had just got traded to the Bills, and you didn't hear anything about Amari Cooper. Hey guys, not that he has a relationship with Josh Allen, but Amari Cooper, quiet guy, just okay, whatever, like Charlie Brown, okay, whatever. But you have Davante, who's been on everything that receivers, K. Adams, talk about commercials. Ever since he came to Vegas, he's been he's been a face on TV and everything. And now that he's traded to the Jets, you would think that, okay, a little humidity, okay, whatever, but it was a bad situation after the car left, let's just, okay. So I won't look bad in front of the Raider Nation that I claim to have respect for, that I had this that I had this hamstring injury. But when you see this, it's kind of like, dude, really, dude, you're trolling. Here's the video right here.
But Davante Adams is a New York Jet. So from your standpoint, when did you find out about it? And how pumped are you to be back on the same team as Davante Adams?
Yeah, obviously I'm really excited. Love Tay. He's a phenomenal player and a dear friend. Had a couple messages. I was just not in the mood to talk to anybody. Got home, and Tay had called me and texted me, and so I finally called him back. And so about, I don't know, 12:30 12:45 last night. I heard the news.
Okay, so as soon as you hear the news, what's that? Well. Hey, good to see you, Tay. Good to see you, man. Congrats.
What's up, fellas? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Appreciate that.
How was the flight over there? Did you fly over last night? And Aaron wasn't returning any of your text messages. What's that all about? You think about saying, "Get me the hell out of here" anytime that?
Yeah, he was having second thoughts. He's been known to have both when it comes to pulling the trigger with me. But hopefully we can put that behind us now. And we're back, man. We're back.
Okay, so obviously whenever the conversation about you getting traded is becoming the focal point of NFL conversations, Tay, a lot of people immediately placed you with the Jets because of your relationship with Aaron and the offense and understanding it. For you, first of all, how's the hamstring? And then second of all, is there any newness to the offense that they're running right now, or are you going to be able to kind of pick up pretty seamlessly with Aaron?
Well, first off, thank you for asking about the injury, and I'm feeling great, man. Feeling great. Getting, I was working with the staff over in Vegas the whole time, and they got me back right. So, fortunately, I'll be able to roll.
So fortunately, I'll be able to roll. The guys in Las Vegas really helped me to get into the East Coast, so I can start with my buddy.
Why did he keep looking away from the camera when he was making that statement?
Because in psychology, that means that you're lying. Right? That's a tell, right? That's why in poker they wear sunglasses, so you won't see when they're trying to check or bet or whatever, because they don't want you to see.
I'm going to say this for Anna. He wasn't injured, which I've said that. I made it clear. I don't think he was injured. He's full of shit.
Yes.
I could swear on this fucking channel and on the show because I don't give a flying fuck.
Well, I guess here
my parents.
Go ahead.
If you're watching, I was just gonna say, I don't. If I'm not swearing, people think I'm sick, so I gotta say it.
Like I said, my mom watches, so I gotta be clean.
I know.
I keep it
I get that.
PG.
If my mom watched and I didn't swear, she'd think I was sick. I get a phone call. Are you feeling okay? I didn't hear a damn swear word out your mouth.
Now, Davante Adams did send a little message to Raider Nation, and it reads this. As a kid from East Palo Alto who grew up a Raiders fan, the past 3 years have been both an honor and the fulfillment of a childhood dream. I came to Las Vegas with the intention of bringing a championship to the city and have cherished every opportunity to play with that continued pursuit in mind. To my teammates, coaches, ownership, and staff, you have all taught me countless lessons, and I am forever grateful for the resiliency, drive, and commitment you brought every day as we work tirelessly to build something together. To Raider Nation, thank you for your relentless passion and unwavering support when I put on the historic shield every Sunday from Oakland to Las Vegas. Raider Nation has and will always be part of my family. Now, you see that. Oh, you left. You see that, and then you see this video of Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams kind of like, hey, let me call you over, honey. Show them your face. Do you really feel like that right there was genuine? I mean, yeah, okay, you're cool. You're hanging out with Aaron Rodgers, but do you really feel like that message that he sent to Raider Nation was genuine? After just already, you was already across the country to go watch Aaron Rodgers play or whatever. You got your hamstring, you got your physical, and now you're ready to go for Sunday. It just seems very fishy, and I don't know. I think. Let me ask you a question, Asylum. Amari Cooper, former Raider receiver, got traded to the Bills. And you have now former Raider receiver, Davante Adams, went to the Jets. Who do you think has a better chance of, let's just say, going to the AFC Championship game? Amari Cooper or Davante Adams?
That's easy, Cooper.
Because he's with a team that has stability. not a team that just fired their head coach last week before this Monday night game. Aaron Rodgers is throwing interceptions, and he threw his own teammate under the bus. Well, Williams ran the wrong route. What kind of teammate is that? And they're like, well, maybe he's sending messages to ownership that you need to get this deal done so we can have a winning product on the field. That is not team football. That is not how you do it. And everyone gets upset with AP because he said business decisions. He didn't call nobody out. He called out Davante probably within the walls of the facility.
Which how it should be done.
Mm-hmm. So it's just weird that people get passes. You see, so how about this? Okay, we all know that the Raiders, for the majority, have a 20-plus year downward spiral, since the Super Bowl year in 2022. So 22 years plus the season 22, 23 years of not being good football. But it's okay for star players to decide, you know what? I'm not going to play because I'm injured. They're okay. Well,
like I said, I find that funny because he picked it's the one injury that you cannot fucking do any tests for. You can't x-ray for it. There's nothing you can do to say it's a legitimate injury or not. He just says, oh, my hammy hurts. And, and then you just got to believe it. I mean, that's what it goes suspicion. It's not like it's an ankle. We could x-ray an ankle and find out what's wrong with it. We can find.
You can do an MRI too on an ankle.
And this is the one injury. And yeah, to me, and I want to go here. I know we talked about this earlier. Going with all this, Anna, she did a video and asked the same question, and she put it out here. So we're gonna answer this. She's asking, do you think Brady coming in as part owner had anything to do with with Davante Adams leaving? And okay, I'll let you answer first.
I mean, with Brady, everything will be done, of course, under wraps, because he's not allowed to really do too much, especially one, being an owner, two, being a broadcaster for Fox. But like maybe within private, hey, Mark Davis, I'm noticing that Davante Adams isn't really showing whatever. Cut him after the season, loses your money, maybe, you never know. Oh, but sorry, we had a surprise right now at the bottom of the screen. But I can see that being a let me move now and let me move now before Tom Brady affects my career and my money, maybe, because clearly it's not about championship. You went to the Jets, who was in dysfunction anyway, so clearly that's not the reason.
He's not in a worse spot than the Raiders.
Exactly. So, are we bringing Miss Anna in?
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, we don't have normally we have some kind of an opening clip for somebody, but this is last minute, and we're going to have to work on this, but we do have a special guest.
All right, let's bring her in right here. Oh, it's Miss Anna, our number one viewer who's been on every show also. You and Asylum are the only ones who's been on every show. So we appreciate you coming on, and we thank you. All right.
I almost broke my streak. I kind of woke up from a late nap and stuff, went into a food coma today. So I was like, oh shit. No, you know what? Like I said, I asked that question yesterday morning when everything was, coming out, breaking, because I was sitting, I was like, wait a minute. I know that Davante Adams was not quite fond of Brady. And then now that he's 10%, 5%. Owner. News keeps saying 10.
No, total between Wagner, Brady, and Seymour, it's 10.5. But Brady has 5%, and Wagner has 5%.
Well, good, because the news keeps blowing it up that Brady has 10% ownership. Well, anyway, so I kept thinking, could that had been the straw that broke the camel's back? You know,
It's
and
it's a good thought.
and you know what? I mean, we all know it's been a shit show, and I mean, this circus, something's got to give. Something's not. It's not AP's fault. It's I know the guys are trying their best with what they got, and then there are some guys that are just I see them standing on the field like going da da da, and I'm going, dude, do something, move, blink, shit, squat, do something. It something has to give with these, and I don't know. I mean, now that they got all this cap space that's coming up for the following season, I think they need to spend some money. Seriously, spend some money. Bring in somebody to help the offense. I mean, I feel sorry for Minshew and I feel sorry for O'Connell because I tell you what, right now Raider Nation, not all the fans, but I know there are some fans that are, throwing tantrums like little children, and they need to go back and look at the history of football. They need to go back and see how it was back then, because I tell you what, the new era fans would not be able to handle the football back then. They would not. It's history. It's a culture, but we're in this day and age of a bunch of whiny ass brats. I'm gonna say, yeah, bunch of whiny ass brats. And people need to stop crying. But at the same time, we're there. Football is evolving to where pretty soon it's going to be completely flag football.
Yeah.
And, that sucks weenies, I want football to be football, Kermit, if your ass gets squashed, your ass gets squashed. Boo, hoo, hoo. So what? And your wife needs to stop fucking bitching and whining. They need to keep her ass off the internet. Aaron Rodgers, I give him a couple of more sacks and then he's out. That dude is running on a formaldehyde. I kid you not. He is running on formaldehyde. And what we need to do is the best that we can to support the team. I can't afford the games. I can't afford to fucking go. They're damn expensive. And I ain't a high roller. And then, of course, with this whole thing with Allegiant, okay, Allegiant Airlines is giving awesome deals to opposing teams. They're going out there to have, come see your favorite team play the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. Airfare, hotel package, tickets to the game. Really?
Yeah.
Do any of you see those advertisements in Oakland, LA, Central California, Northern California? Do any of you see those commercials?
Nope.
Well, I did see them for the Chiefs game. I'm out here in Kansas. I did see them. I think it was 2 years ago about the package deal to go out and see a game.
No, I haven't out here in the Oakland area. I haven't seen any. We don't even see the games out here because we have the Bay Area has the Niners still, so that now rules the television over here. We don't even have the games out here, so they're not catering to the Oakland fans. And yeah, I kept saying that because I went to this game against the Steelers, and even my stepson was all like, there was too many Steeler fans. He was confused. It was his first game. He was confused on when to clap because you have all these black jerseys. He had to look at the sleeve. Oh, wait, that gold? Those are Steeler fans. Oh, okay, never mind. So he was confused who to clap for because it was his first game. So that's the one thing I kept saying is, Allegiant Stadium. the Allegiant Airlines is come see your favorite team in Las Vegas. Not come see the Raiders in Las Vegas. Come see your favorite team play in Las Vegas.
And it's utter bullshit. Now the A's, I guarantee we're going to see the same, if not worse, situation here because the stadium that they're building here is only going to have less than 19,000 luxury seats. Okay, luxury. And so we're going to see the same thing here with the A's team, with the baseball team. Once they start building that stadium, once they start selling those PSL seats, we're going to see the same shit. You're not going to come here to see the A's. You're going to come here to see your favorite opposing team.
Yeah.
And here, it's Vegas, it's business. Now, the only thing that has been, completely successful has been the Aces and the Vegas Golden Knights. Why? Vegas Golden Knights is a homegrown team. That team has become a sentimental team to the city because of what the city went through on 1 October. The Aces, they were the first WNBA team to sell out of season tickets, and it's all locals that go to these Aces games and stuff. I remember when the rumors of the Raiders were coming, my husband told me, "Hey, guess who I saw?" And who? Mark Davis. I go, Mark Davis, what's he doing here in Vegas? He goes, well, the rumors are flying that, the Raiders are coming. I looked at him, I go, are you kidding me? I got excited. And then when it came time to start selling the seats, I was working at that time and I was saving my money to put the down payment for my seats. And that's when I had the bomb dropped on me when I was going to go put the seats. There is like, oh no, it's no longer a $100 down payment. You got to put $1,000. What? Yeah, the prices have gone up and everything. I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? Really? And I looked at my husband. I go, you know what? I got a bad feeling we're not going to be able to afford to go to these games. And the one trick we learned too is that if you want to buy tickets to the game, buy them last minute. Yeah. Because my nephew has been able, the games that we've been fortunate enough to go to, all of a sudden we'll get them for $30 a piece. Because nobody wants to pay those outrageous prices, and of course, the tickets. And another thing that's, fucked up about the whole situation is people like me that are ADA, they say that there's no ADA seats available, but yet when we go around the stadium, there's plenty of ADA seats available, but they don't want to give them to you because, they're like $400, $500, $600, seats, I mean, the Raiders right now are in a bad situation right now. They need players. I don't know if Wilkin, is he still out? I haven't heard the latest. If he's still out
on IR, so he's got to be out for at least 4 weeks on IR. Yeah. But I talked to Savage earlier, and what was it when we first found out? And I have a feeling that this is a season-ending injury for him.
Oh,
yeah. I just got this feeling. It's just they're doing this, and before we know it, it's going to be another Coons Epps and going to be season-ending.
Damn. You see, and then we go and spend these money on these players, and then they come in and oops, I'm hurt. Davante Adams, to me, I mean, yeah, it's disappointing, but it's like, you know what? You're with your mommy. You're happy now. Move on. Poof, poof, be gone. Yeah. And he was. You know, that's one headache that they don't have to worry about, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now it's just, you know, we got to resolve this, you know, whole, you know, offense issue, you know, and stuff, you know, with the quarterback. You know, like I said, I feel sorry for Minshew. I feel sorry for O'Connell because there's so much negativity on them. And people, if you're going to put that negativity out in the universe, guess what's going to happen? Negative shit's going to happen.
Yes.
You know, I was optimistic. I was excited. I was like, yeah, you know, we're going to see exciting things with this team. We're going to see this. We're going to see that. No, all these negative Nancy's out there, you put it out in the universe and you're getting what you asked for, you know.
And that's the problem. It's like, are you guys first time Raider fans? Did you just come
Right?
into the nation? Do we need to give you a pamphlet on how to survive as a diehard Raider fan? Rule number 1, don't cry. Rule number 2, don't
here's
bitch.
another thing.
Don't moan.
No, here's another thing. When it's a fucking home game, do not wear white. Don't wear white at a home game. And
I
don't
own
scream.
one white jersey, and that's because, well, actually, I own two. One because Raider Savage gave me one, and Alzado, it was for a different reason to make another straight jacket. And I have one that I was actually a game worn jersey from a player that was on the Raiders. Other than that, all my jerseys are black.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, it cracks me up, you know, because especially when you're looking at the TV and all of a sudden you see these people wearing white. I'm going, wait a minute. Don't you know the rules of a home game? You do not wear white. You wear black. You know, you wear your home colors. I mean, it cracks me up, and a lot of times I bite my tongue hard because if I say what I want to say, believe me, I'd have a lot of pissed off people at me, but that's okay. I'm good at it.
Well, like, we went to the game, and my girlfriend, you know, we were trying to find a black jersey, but I said, you know what? We're not in Oakland no more. We'll just, I mean, you know, just go with the white because she was trying to find a black jersey, couldn't find a black jersey. She found a white one. It was a nice jersey, and I said, you know what? Because the fans over here in Las Vegas, they still don't understand after, I'm talking about the new ones. They don't understand after 5 years, you know what? Let's just go. At least you'll stand out than the black Steeler jerseys that were over there blended in with the black, you know, Raider jerseys, you know, and the terrible towels and everything. So I was just like, I said, you know what, just go ahead.
When I the first period of the game, you know, I was like, okay, you know, and then I just kept seeing Steelers, and I'm going, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We are so fucked, you know, and I gave myself an anxiety attack.
Her wearing the white jersey that made us lose the game.
Say that again.
I'm gonna go with Auntie here. She said she told her not to wear it. It was her wearing the white jersey while we lost.
I approved of it, so it's on me. Okay. I said, you know what? If the Vegas people are not going to wear it, we're not going to worry about it because it's an away game anyways for us in our own stadium. So I said, hey, I'm gonna take that. So that's what I say because we were you know, it was 80% Steelers and you couldn't find, like, you see Raider fans, but you had to kind of see, like, wait, what name was on the back here? Okay, that's a Steeler name. Okay, that's a Raider name. Oh wait, you got the yellow stripes on your sleeves. Okay, you guys are Steelers. It was mostly Steelers. So, you know, I just say, you know what? It is what it is.
When we went to the preseason to the Dallas Raiders game and stuff, and I mean we sat around you know, we were surrounded by Dallas people, but they were some of the nicest people. We were all having a good time, laughing, joking, you know, and everything, you know. there was a lot of bullshitting, but nobody took it serious among each other, and stuff. And everybody, they were buying each other beers, which was, nice to see, and stuff. And yeah, it was disappointing. They lost, but hey, it was a preseason game, and we enjoyed ourselves, and the people around us enjoyed themselves. And then when I saw videos, I guess a couple of incidences that occurred there at the Legion, I'm going, "You're fucking kidding me." Why take this personally? And stuff. Be cordial, be respectful. They're visiting. And what a lot of people don't know, and some are finding out the hard way, is the fact that if you're caught fighting inside a Legion Stadium, and if they have to take you downstairs, not only are you banned from Allegiant, you're banned from the entire strip corridor, because Allegiant is considered part of the strip corridor. And a lot of people are finding out the hard way, is that you cause any problems, and if they tell you you are no longer welcome in Allegiant, it's not only Allegiant Stadium, it's the entire strip. You are not, and your name does go on a list that goes to every resort on the strip, to where they know who's allowed on the strip and who is not allowed on the strip. And a lot of people don't know that, but it's true and stuff. And whether we survive these next few games, like Captain says, as long as we get 7, we'll get some type of payout. Because as long as we hit 7 games, but
Well,
for some
I need
reason,
11. I said we're going to win. I need 11, not 7.
you know what, I still have hope for these guys. I hope that, I know they're going to bust their asses. They're going to try. And I mean, poor coach, it's not his fault. It's not his fault that,
Well, how many coaches in their first year got to deal with a player that comes out of nowhere, apparently blindsided him, says, I want to be traded. It has to deal with as much injuries as he's got going on right now on both offense and defense. Then's got to deal with, fans who are calling for his head after 6 fucking weeks.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there are coaches that have been with their team that are, for years, that the team does not get any better, but they're trying. They're trying to work with what they've got. And, Telesco, he's not just sitting there twiddling his thumbs. He's working on something. I mean, everybody has the assumption that nobody's doing anything. Believe me, they are probably in their office. They're probably on the phone day and night. They're probably working on one half an hour sleep. I mean, if people truly know the ins and outs of how to run an operation, they will know. The big guys up there, they're not sleeping. They're not sleeping well. They're not getting any rest. I mean, I'm just waiting to see poor coach age in front of us in like 2 weeks. The way things are going. But we'll see how this Sunday's game goes, to see if we see some type of improvement, or whether or not if we see, some type of surprise coming up. We don't know. We don't have that crystal ball. We can't see the future. We can't predict the future. And it's time for the bench warmers to come in and help. It's time for them to step up and shine.
Next man up.
Show us what you've got. Show us why you became a Raider. I mean, you cannot go and, demand, the coach's head or Telesco's head. Getsy, that's a whole different situation. That one right there. Queen of Hearts off with his head. You know, someone go put him in the broom closet, and I'll be happy with the assistant. Um, but I mean, it's the beginning of the season. It's not even November. We're barely in October. The season barely started. Everybody wants results now. I would love to see results now, but in the real world, it's not gonna fucking happen.
No, it takes time. We're just going in the chats here. Somebody, Polo actually, he doesn't have any experience, which is true. But we hired him to give him experience. You got to let it play out. He's got to gain the experience. He's got to make the mistakes. He's got to learn from his mistakes. He's got to make some great calls and learn from those as well. You're going to have ups and downs when you got a first-year head coach. And we're not talking about first year with the team. We're talking about overall. He's got to make his mistakes and learn from the mistakes. That's what I want to see.
Exactly.
Does he learn from the mistake? If he goes out there and doesn't learn from it, that's a different story, and then you can start going. But you have to give – even Hondo says that, you got to give him at least 20 games. That's a full season
exactly.
The next year. Give him the time to be able to learn and prove himself. And I disagree with you, Polo, there. It wasn't just because it's what the fans wanted. It's what the team wanted. There was a whole lot of what you saw when he took over and how much the team changed between him and McDaniels is why he was hired.
Exactly. He gave the team back their pride, which was something that McShitnuts took away from everybody. He took away their pride. Poor Renfro. He fucking ruined him.
Yes. Yeah.
He ruined his career. Okay? Now, we ain't going to get Derek Carr back. So that's out of the equation. He's the past. That's the past. As much as I love DC, he's the past. That's in the past. Right now is the present. They need to work on what is in the present, what is in front of them. They need to work on let's kick some ass. Let's do what we said. AP brought back the pride in the locker room. He gave everybody, you know what? You can do this. I have faith in you. Go for it. And we as fans need to give it time. We need to support them. We need to stop fucking bitching and whining like a bunch of sissy lalas. Because shit takes time. Good things come to those who wait. And I'm going to also say this. If you can't support them now, don't support them when they win later. That's my feeling. If you can't support them at their worst, why support them at their best? Have faith, have patience. Patience is a big word everybody needs to put in their vocabulary.
It's a virtue. Patience is a virtue.
Yes.
Exactly. And I have faith. I have patience. I got all the time in the world because, hey, you know what? It's not going to take one season to get everybody together under AP. It's going to take at least 2 or 3 years for them to build up and get this team together. Now, whether they go for a quarterback in the next draft, cool. Because there's going to be some nice talent out there, and I'm excited about it.
You got all sides. You got free agency, the draft. If they go out and get somebody and do another quarterback's battle, that's okay because iron sharpens iron. You need competition. If you don't have competition, and that was Derek Carr's biggest problem throughout his 9 years, he didn't have much competition. The job was always his.
Well, plus two, remember, during those years, it was one shit show after another. It was one bad domino after another for him and stuff. And then unfortunately, when Nick Shitnuts came into the equation, they try to do the so-called, Cheatriot way. I'm sorry, that doesn't fly with Raider Nation. This is Raider Nation. We weren't the Patriots. And that's what he was trying to do. And when he put muzzles on all of them in the locker room, I'm taking this away from you. I'm taking that away from you. I'm not. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. We all know what a shit show it turned out to be. And I tell you what, Halloween last year was the best time of my life. I celebrated when I found out. I celebrated. Yep. I was cheering. I was jumping. I was screaming. And now let's let it play out. Let's have patience, people. Let's, support the team. They win. We celebrate. They lose. Okay, on to the next game. That's the way it's always been. On to the next game. And
over the last years, and I get what you're talking about right here, Coach T. Over 40 years, it hasn't been 40 years, but I know what you're going. In that 40 years, we had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And the thing is, if we keep doing what we've done over the last 20 years, which is give a coach a year and a half and fire him, give an OC a year and fire him. We've had no continuity. We've had no consistency in this team. And every team that has won a Super Bowl, it will go as of late in the last 15 years, or teams that are considered good and playoff teams, they've all had consistency. They may have changed the coach somewhere in there, but that coach was given time to sit there and make the changes he needed to make, to bring in the players that fit his scheme, to fit what he wanted to do, to change coaching as if OCs, DCs, linebacker coaches, whatever it is. They've had the time to bring in the right person that fits it. And if you don't give them that time and keep doing what we're doing, this will never change. Never change.
Amen to that. I agree.
And I'm not that old. I haven't seen a winning Raiders Super Bowl yet. I did see the Raiders when I was a senior in high school when they lost to the Buccaneers in 2002. And I do understand the OG Raider fans. It's like, come on, man. I've seen the golden age. I want to experience that again. And that's to Polo. Polo, longtime Raider fan, a close friends with Tom Flores. So I know he probably bounces a lot of what's going on with Tom Flores a lot. But I understand, but we got to stick to one thing and let it grow. Kind of like Tupac, let the rose grow from the concrete. Okay? Like Tupac's poetry book. And I get it, because it's like we waited 23 years and we're still seeing the same thing, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because of that turnover of just coach, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new head coach, new offensive coordinator. It's never consistency, no matter what quarterback we have. Whether it's a draftee. If we would have went and got somebody, and Asylum had said this last night on another talk show that we don't talk about, but he had said, like, okay, if we would have went up and got Daniels, the quarterback, would he have succeeded in this offense with this offensive line? And yeah. So it doesn't matter if we don't have a stability, and that's probably where the offensive coordinator Kingsbury, has a familiarity with him from USC. So he went over there. There's a familiarity, so he knows how that quarterback plays. So he knows how to design plays for his quarterback because he knows his strengths and his weaknesses. So yeah, that works out because there's a continuity. there is an understanding there that's already established, and that's what we're trying to establish is something that's already concrete, and that whoever we plug in and play, they'll be able to catch it right away, like Patrick Graham's defense. And though it's not looking that great this year, but they've also been on the field a lot, trying to stop short offense on the short field. So we have to let it work out. Now, Getsy, I'm on the fence with Getsy. I'm more on the I'm ready to move on from Getsy. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm all like, come on, man, be more aggressive, because that's what we keep seeing for the last 20-something years. We want to get it's 3rd and 8, and we're throwing 5-yard passes. We try to pass on first. We try to run on first. Try to run on second, and they know we got to run on third, but a long 3rd down, and we got to pass it. It's like we're too predictable. That's what I don't like.
Well,
So
now that we have I'm gonna say it, now that we have Shady Brady in the equation, and stuff, I think he will have some type of influence on who to bring in, who not, who would work with the team, who won't. I mean, I'm not going to expect, results like, Sunday. I think we're going to gradually see things move along a little bit better. But we got to get a healthy team. We got to get some good players. We got to get somebody that's going to protect the quarterback, to give him that time to throw the ball.
Line game, I agree. Our offensive line needs some help, and as we stated earlier, they are starting to come together, and that does take time. But we got injuries, we got people going back and forth, and I'll fucking flat out say it. We talked about it earlier too. We need to work. We need to fix the center. Our center of our line is the worst, and it starts with Andre James. It starts with him. You don't see him calling out any kind of scheme, anything else, who to block, this, that, the other, and it starts with him. We need to just get rid of him, put Parham as center, and go from there. But it's going to start with, it's going to start with that offensive line in order to give the quarterback time to throw and holes for the running backs to be able to run through.
And then plus too, a lot of things that it was clear and obvious. The refs. The big problem is the refs. Those motherfuckers are shady as hell. They got their favorite players. They got their favorite teams. We all know that it's always us against the refs. There was some major bad calls going on. And then they're standing right in front of them. Shit happens, and then they're like, I didn't see that. And here, I need to bring back the TV bricks so I can throw it at the TV every time I see shit like that happen. The refs are awful. They're god awful. They're not fair. Hopefully with the Chiefs game, I'm hoping that they rip their little heinies up like they did last Christmas. This Sunday, nobody knows what to expect. The sports books here it's an undecided who's the favorite. The Lambs or the Raiders.
I've never seen that before.
They're when my husband, when he was walking around the casino, he happened to take a quick look at the sports book, and he's telling me, babe, neither team's the favorite. I go, I know. Nobody knows who's going to win. There's no favorite in this game. So it's like, okay, whoever you bet on, they win, they don't, and stuff. But anyways, though, gentlemen.
I with Polo on this one. I think we can win this game, but it's going to take us playing all 4 quarters and in all 3 phases. We're going to need the special teams has been good. They've only had the 1 block and everything, but we need special teams, we need offense, and we need defense all clicking, and we could win this game handedly.
And we've won one time in SoFi. That was in the first game against the Chargers. And we haven't won since, so it's been a long time. It feels like we haven't had a win. And we're going to make sure on this Friday that we try our best to get that bad juju, not only from this team, but also within SoFi, so we can have a winning performance on our second home to Oakland, LA, our second home, and give those Raider fans down there because it's going to be home field advantage for the Raider fans down there in SoFi.
In LA. Yeah, in LA.
Yeah.
We own LA. And remember,
it's supposed to be nice and chilly. It's supposed to be nice and chilly. The weather has changed significantly and stuff. We're finally cooling off here in Vegas. Thank God. I'm sick of the heat and stuff. And I know that in SoFi, from what I hear, it's like fucking a pizza oven in there.
I'll trade you in a heartbeat. I'm from Vegas. I was born in Dallas Air Force Base. I will trade anything for the Vegas weather versus where I'm at now. This cold that I got to deal with, I will trade you in a heartbeat.
I thought you was born in Area 51.
No, that was not too far from where I was born.
Yeah, Nellis is about 10 minutes from where I'm at. I'm in the old Huntridge neighborhood.
I believe my godparents lived in that area.
Yeah, I live in the old Huntridge. We call it the old mob neighborhood and stuff. And this neighborhood has a rich history and stuff. It's a cute little neighborhood. But if you go 2 blocks north or 2 blocks south, nah, don't walk around that area at night. But if you're in the center neighborhood where I'm at, you can take your dog for a walk. You can enjoy sitting outside and everything. But anyways, though, gentlemen, it was nice chatting with you all. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on.
No, like I said, I when the news was happening so fast, and then it came to my thought about the whole Tom Brady situation, I was like, wait a minute, could this be? And usually a woman's intuition is always correct. So. But the truth will come out on the next episode of What the Fuck.
As the Raiders turn.
As the Raiders turn. There you go. As the Raiders turn. But anyways, love y'all.
And we can't give it up.
Exactly. Love you guys.
Thank you, Miss Anna. Appreciate you coming on. That was a surprise. I like that surprise better than a Davante Adams showing up in the back of Aaron Rodgers. Hey guys, how you guys doing? We out here. All right. So I want to thank Anna for coming on.
Oh, definitely. We've been trying to work with her and everything and get her on and shit like that. And I'm glad she was able to come on this time.
Yes. So we want to thank Anna. And
kind of sat out there just because she made a comment. And I was like, you know what? Let's try it.
Yes. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much, Anna, for showing up. I didn't even know she was coming. I said, oh, what? Look at that. Anna came on to our show. We appreciate that. She is a big supporter of our show, and we appreciate that. So,
again, she's been in the comments. This is the first time she's been on the show, but she's been in the comments for every episode that we have out.
Yes. That's you. That's I said. That's you and Anna. I'm not even on every single episode. My work is on every single episode, but not me. Not physically me. No. So
but your work is good enough. Your work count.
I like to be a silent partner, like I don't want to say like Tom Brady, more like Seymour.
Richard. Oh, now you're Richard Seymour, huh?
Yes, I'm Richard Seymour, Kay. So I don't have 7 rings, Kay. Richard Seymour has what, 3? So I don't have 3 either, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Hey, hold on. I got 2. They're fake, but I got 2.
All right, now before we go though, I wanted to play this clip, and we're gonna use the I know we didn't do X screen because there wasn't really too much to talk about with the game itself, and more because of all this news that broke out. But there was also this other little thing that broke out, because people just love to cause drama for us. So here is this right here. So this was a sack that Max Crosby and Jenkins shared. So there it is right there. That's the sack. Max Crosby. First that was Hobbs. He slowed him down. Max Crosby got about an ankle. And then this whole thing that happened right here. Now listen right here. Listen. Was it playing?
It's playing. Can't
Where's
hear
the
it though. No sound.
Okay, well, you know what? I had the sound. Basically, what he was saying, what happened to the sound?
I don't know. It's clicked off and I can't click it on.
But anyways, what Max Crosby was saying there is that that was just what him and Caldwell do, and that everyone's gonna twist it around and say this and that and whatever. But they're gonna tie it into Max Crosby isn't happy. You can tell right there he isn't happy.
He wants to be traded.
He wants to be traded. So Asylum, tell me, what is your take on that right there? I'm gonna get the video ready.
I'm sorry. I think when you see the shove, that's just a hyped player. I mean, that's what we either, he's not going to do a chest bump. He's not going to do all this other shit, jumping up, go, take a chance of getting hurt or hurting his coach, whatever. To me, that was strictly in the heat of the moment, he just had his sack or half a sack, but still, he's there. He made a play. He's coming off the field. I'm sure the coach said something, you're the man, this, that, the other. And he said, damn right. I mean, that was it. You want to talk about a shove that could be controversial? We'll go back to Aaron Rodgers and Salah. That shove, that was more, can I read into this than what this Max Crosby thing is? I mean, I know there's a podcaster out there who's trying to say that, the locker room's in disarray. There was fights, there was pushing and shoving in the locker room, even possibly punches thrown. And shit. I'm going to call bullshit. Okay, we've heard Hondo, for one, say that the locker room is not, AP never lost the locker room. It's still going good. And to me, that's Max Crosby. Show me a time that he hasn't, been animated or something like that and go. You tell me, do you see any ill content in that shove? Or was that more of I'm just hyped up and I'm the badass and let's go?
Well, see, the thing is that CBS showed that for a quick second, and I don't remember them explaining anything like you showed it, so explain what it is. And of course, with everything going on at the time, because he's just got traded on Tuesday, but everything that happened on the time with Davante Adams and the way the team has not been putting up points the last 2 weeks, and quarterback situation, the media, whether it's professional or us amateurs, want to spin something because negativity always sells. That's one thing that Hondo had said that we have learned doing shows like this and watching everybody else, that negativity sells because that's what gets viewers. That's what gets people to come to your page and see, what is he talking about? What does he know? And that right there, you want to talk about negative, like Anna said, the negativity that you guys bring, people who say negative things like that and want to make a whole story just for your own clout, will add a negativity out there because all this stuff is out there in the open, and I'm not going to say that's what causes, because the athletes, they understand that fans are upset, whatever, but just to say things like that, the people are fighting in the locker room and this and that. That gives a bad image to people who believe those podcasters. Now, I got the clip right now, so it should play. So here it is real quick right now.
You addressed it on Twitter already, Max, but what happened between you and Mike Caldwell coming off the field?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even thinking about it. And then all of a sudden I have my phone blowing up as I'm in the cold tub trying to get ready, for next week already. And people, you know how they do it. They just spin narratives. Mike Caldwell is a great dude. We have a great relationship, and we do that all the time. It's like, people look at it, oh, they're losing, and then Max pushes it. Like, that's how, we play football. We're grown men. We're alpha males. We don't greet each other the same. So I just, he was hyping me up, and I hyped him up, go, you know what I mean? And we're down, but it just showed, we're not quitting. You know what I mean? So that was literally all it was. So I'll look in every camera. I love Mike Caldwell. I love Mike Caldwell. That's my guy. Everyone I'll look in every camera. That's my guy. That's all I'm going to say. I love him. There's literally zero. It's completely made up out of dust. So the camera, it made it look bad. It looked like I was throwing him out the club, but that was not what happened at all.
And here's the tweet. Mike Caldwell is my guy. One of the best people in the business. That's a love push. Stop reaching. Well, and that's to everybody.
If you show this clip again that you just showed, you see him giving him a 5. It's not a high 5, it's a low 5. But he gave him a 5 and then pushed him. Tell me that's not hype. How many times, if you're mad at somebody or whatever's going on, you're going to turn around, and if you give that push, it's the initial thing you do. You don't give him a high 5, a low 5, whatever the fuck it is. You don't do a hand slap and then push and then say it's fucking, he's pissed off. Hype, he said whatever he said, high 5, pushed him. You damn right. This is what we're doing. We're on our way to fucking get this shit done.
Yes.
I know you're trying to get it to go again, but
so I was trying to do back and forth. And that's the thing, you got people who love to twist stories around because it helps with everyone who falls into.
It helps get subscribers. It helps get likes, views, all this other shit. And there's some channels that don't do that kind of shit, like ours. We just try to give you information and get going. And we are where we are. And you got other people who focus on that kind of shit and will run that shit, who are skyrocketing on everything because, like you said, fucking that kind of shit sells.
And when we see that stuff, how we feel.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
Exactly.
Joe Pesci said it.
He said it best right there. Whatever that guy has said is bullshit. And
Thank you.
I guarantee there's people who feel that way probably about us, but you know what? That's fine. You have your right to whatever opinion you have, but at least we're not trying to live off of that negativity. Negativity sells. It gets you views, and we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to give you facts and our opinions on what's happening within the Raiders and Raider Nation.
And it's just like the news. The news used to be a show, a broadcast that tells you what's going on. Now it's a show, and they care about ratings because they want to see, okay, well, who's watching our show? Let's put out some scary, oh, by the way, a new plague is coming. Watch us to show you how to avoid it. Oh, now I gotta watch it because they got me scared. That's what these other podcasters do. Oh my God, I heard from my sources that they changed from the coffee from caffeinated to decaf. It's gonna piss off the team. Watch my show and I'll show you why. We don't do that. We try to show both sides of the argument, and then we try to, understand both sides to see why they are that way. But we're not going to go and tell you, oh my God, because Davante Adams is leaving. That means Trey Tucker's upset because that was Big Brother. And oh my God, because Max Crosby, he pushed Mike Caldwell. It's just a domino effect. And now we're all going to just, the team's going to just not be a team anymore. And this is going to happen. And we had to fire AP to make, no. Okay, you fire AP. That's what's going to make this team, you know what, I'm done, because there's no continuity. Now, if certain players want to go, then go. If you're not down with what we're trying to build, then go. Just say you want to go. Don't fake an injury. Don't try to, play politician on all these shows and I'm a victim and I was blindsided.
If you know this at the, before the season starts or at the end of the season, say it then. Don't fucking sit there and start playing games and shit and then turn around and say you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I'm not a huge fan of him, but JT the Break had said, yeah, okay, you can go and do whatever, but Raider Nation remembers. Remember what Randy Moss did on the sidelines in that 2006 season, just over there slouching, talking about I'm not a Raider. They want to go and be, oh yeah, when I was a Raider on the Hall of Fame and Canton. Oh yeah, when I was no, because we don't even see you in the alumni. They never put you on alumni, Same thing with Warren Sapp.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Jamarcus Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Does Davante Adams fall in that group? Some say yes. Some are like, well, look what the Raiders have done. Well, don't act like you're a brand new. If you've been a fan for a long time, don't act brand new. So unfortunately, this is what happens. And Davante Adams, when he came to the team, you knew that there was some dysfunction. You came to the team with McDaniels. Not you came to the team with Bisaccia, and then McDaniels came, and then it was up and down. Like you saw that already.
Even go before Bisaccia, you didn't come to the team with Gruden.
Yeah,
that happened. Then get Bisaccia, and then end up with McDaniels. No, you came with McDaniels and Ziegler. You knew what was going on. Yes, the whole reason you came was to play with Carr.
And Antonio Brown. That dude, he didn't even dress up in the preseason and played it down as that's probably why I always forget about him. Maybe
he did dress up. He was in uniform.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He never played a single down as a Raider.
That's true. He did go out there and run some routes, and then he went back to street clothes or whatever, sweats or whatever. That's probably why I always forget about him because CTE ain't real unless I have it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know, but
you gotta believe it.
So with that, don't listen to the negativity unless it is mentioned in an actual credited article, because we go off of different sources to try to come with the best knowledge of the situation. We don't go on here and guess it. We don't go on here and Al Davis said cheating was encouraged. That's not what Al Davis said. Al Davis said just win.
What it said in that statement is if you're not cheating, you're not trying. What was said, and it was not by Al Davis, it was by Matt Millen, that was above the door when you leave the locker room, was rule number 1, cheating is encouraged. Rule number 2, refer back to rule number 1.
Yes, so
if you're going to quote people, make sure you got your quote right, first of all.
Yeah. And, we studied. Now, I was, like I said, I wasn't old enough to know, to watch Ken Stabler and Jack Tatum, George Atkinson, and Willie Brown, and Dave Casper, and Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, Jim Otto, even all those guys, Hendricks. I wasn't old enough, but I've been studying this. I've been studying the Raiders' history for the last 20 years. I've watched the same for about like 5 years straight. Every single day, I've watched the Raider complete history that they came out on that DVD. I watched that almost every single day because that got me ready for the following day. that even though the Raiders lost to the Steelers so many times in the playoffs, they still broke through, and then they still won and beat the Vikings in Super Bowl 11. Which means, yeah, we can't get, because it doesn't matter if we're losing now or if we keep losing in the championship game like John Madden did, because even John Madden's job was questioned back then. But look what happened. Al Davis stuck with them, and then they won, and they beat the Vikings. It doesn't matter when you lost. If you lose, if you go undefeated, ask Tom Brady. You go undefeated, and then you lose to the Giants, to AP's Giants, that season's a failure.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It's a failure. You're the first loser of that season. Because there's a winner, and everybody else is a loser.
You're the best loser.
But you're the first, well, I guess, you're the top loser, biggest loser.
There you go. You're the best loser or the top loser. There you go. I like that one better.
So, we have to go through these growing pains, especially with the rookie coach. Now, the one thing that you have to be encouraged by is that he's not like Josh McDaniels, who didn't have any head coaches on the staff, any head coaching experience on his staff for him to lean against. It was just him and my way only, and look what I got him. So,
all he tried to do was repeat Bill Belichick's system.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick can pull that kind of shit off, but you can't. So, I mean, it's you got to let coaches, first-time coaches, everybody, Bill Belichick, you name any coach, any great coach, they've got to learn what they know and what they don't know. They got to learn how to be able to make adjustments. They've got to learn. They don't know this shit right away. I guarantee Lombardi didn't know this shit at one point. He still had to learn it as well. Give these coaches a chance. Madden had to learn it. Flores had to learn it. There's three Super Bowls right there.
Yeah.
They had to learn it. Everybody's a first-time player, a first-time coach, a first-time something. And if you don't make mistakes, you don't do this shit, you're never going to fucking learn. You got to learn the right, the wrong, and the indifferent. And if you just sit there and cut them, keep doing what you're doing, we're going to be a crappy team, just like the Browns have been. There's a long list. I'm not going to go down this list, but there's lists of teams that have been, in the dumps because they do the same thing over and over. And it's not the right shit. It's the constant change. Let people learn. If AP can't get it figured out in year 3 or 4, that's a different story. But we're talking about 6 games into his first fucking season. And he's
as head coach.
Like you said, Marvin Lewis, Joe Philbin, people who Tom Coughlin. He's surrounded himself by people, but he's still got to learn. He's got to take the advice. He's got to go. You can't expect perfection off the bat. Most of the time when you get that first good season, it's downhill from there.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
And no, I was going to say, I mean, even when Gruden came back in his second stint, and I know he had 9 years between his last game against Tampa Bay and his first game with the Raiders, coming back to the Raiders, he started off slow because they had no offensive line. Carr was getting sacked left and right. Even Sean Payton, 1 year out of the league with the Denver, he didn't start off with a great record. They're already trying to call for his head, and they didn't have they had a quarterback issue, situation, whatever, with Russell Wilson and Stidham and all them. So we just gotta let it unfold. Unfortunately, the Chiefs are 5-0, even though they've been aided by the referees, but they haven't been looking all that great. They just got lucky calls that made them 5-0. So wild card is still obtainable because all the other teams are not looking good in the AFC. Miss Peggy said it. Look at the Dolphins. Look at the Bengals. I mean, if you look at our division, which I do have that graphic, if you look at our division, 3-3, the Broncos, 3-2, the Chargers. So they're still, and even with the Chargers, with Harbaugh, he had a health scare. Who's to say how that's going to work, affect the season? So everything is still early. And that's why I posed the question a long time ago. What is the realistic expectations of this team with the rookie head coach? and everything that's going on. But that's the situation right there. And I understand with all the diehard Raider fans, I get it. I haven't seen a winning Super Bowl team, so I can't empathize the greatness you guys seen. I was close to it in 2002. So hold on. So yeah, I get it. And everyone who were diehard, I know Polo, diehard Raider fan, compa. You know, I know Polo. I respect Polo. Polo has been. Polo rubs elbows with Tom Flores. Tom Flores was part of his proposal to his wife. So Tom Flores handed the ring off to Polo, and he went and scored and got the yes from his wife, Claudia. So I respect Polo, and you know, because I get it. So, but
for Polo or anything like that, I mean, we all have our beliefs, we all have our feelings about shit, and it's not right, it's not wrong, it's not indifferent. You know, we're allowed to agree to disagree on the state of the Raiders right now, and that's okay. It doesn't mean we got to hate each other, you know, or anything else like that. It is what it is. He has his opinion. I have my opinion. You have your opinion. Sometimes they're going to agree and be in sync, and sometimes we're going to look at somebody and say, "What the fuck are you thinking?"
And just remember, Kay, our only enemy in the NFL is Roger Goodell. Dance monkey. One on Polo did send me something, and I got to show this right here. There is a big party coming this Friday. I didn't have the I just put it up because he just sent it to me. So Mari, who I know, if you know, she makes a lot of the jewelry, and I don't have my chain is in the it's still unpacked, you know, but she helps, you know, she makes the compa chains and everything for us compas and everything. But anyways, she's doing a big party, second annual OG Mari open house. It's this Saturday before the game, October 19th, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. 2300 Walnut Avenue, Signal Hill, California, 90755. That's down there in the LA area. So she has guests Mike D. Chill, I guess is Mana, Prince Rican, Namek. I know Namek compa. D. California.
I was in a Namek video.
Yes, my first time as a super fan. I was on Namek's video against the Rams in the preseason game. So full circle, okay. Tic Tac Montana and DJ Splice. So yes, Cream in the Crop. Oh yeah. So check that out. It's a free party. So I wanted to put that up there for Polo because he was trying to call me during the show. And I said, hey, I'm on live. So he came on live and he started interacting. So appreciate Polo for watching.
Interacting, Polo. We can agree to disagree until we agree completely.
Yes. So with that said, I just want to say, you know, just hey, I'm not going to say what's another year, but just let it play out. Let it play out. We'll see what happens because that's all we can do. But just don't fall into the negativity of those other podcasters that want to scare you into thinking that everything is falling apart. Yeah, the sky is falling. So
it's just an acorn. Remember, it's just a fucking acorn.
Solemn, do you have any other last all good, Polo? Any other last comments, concerns, or anything regarding this? Everything that has happened?
I think I got a majority of what I wanted to say out. If I start again on the other things, I'll be here for another fucking hour. I do want to say thank you, Miss Peggy. Always hard-hitting, always great. Thank you, Anna, for finally coming on. I made the offer a few times. Thank you. You're always a bright spot in the chats. Thank you for being on every show. And maybe, just watch this Friday. There might be some special things on there and get our opinion on what's going to happen, if we're going to win, lose, tie, flop on our faces. Who knows what's going to happen, but we'll tell you on Friday.
We'll tell you.
I'm going to say it like this. Our opinion. Not fact, but our opinion.
Yes, our opinion. That was based off of facts. All right. Oh, sorry.
No, the opposite is you. That's all. We'll go with that. Then, thank you, Anna. And I know you shout it out even on your lives when you're on Facebook. And, we appreciate it. We really do.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for watching, everybody in the comments. I'm sorry, Jessica. I wasn't trying to out you. I was just trying to say that I allowed it, being that we were in Vegas. She said, no, I got to wear a black jersey. I said, I know. She goes, but I like the white jersey. I said, it's okay because it's an away game at home. So it is fine.
It's like we're about to go to an away game at home.
At home, exactly. Or a home game and away. I don't know. Yeah. We're living in the backwards world. Everything is backwards.
Hey, that brings me back to the time of crisscross. You wore your shit backwards.
Crisscross will make you jump. Some people are already trying to jump. Don't jump yet, Kay. Just wait. Just wait. All right.
It takes faith.
Name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Roller. All right, Asylum. Well, that is it for today's show. Thank you, everybody in the comments. Everybody in there. My fiance Jessica was in there. I was trying to defend her, so it's okay with the white jersey. It's okay. Anna Diaz for coming on. Of course, Miss Peggy. Every other week, Miss Peggy comes on. We had 2 hard-hitting women on our show, man.
Yes, we did.
We need to have them on the team, okay? Whether playing or coaching, that's what we need to do, okay?
Well, I'm going to assume it would have to be on the coaching side.
Yes. I don't know. They can hit too, okay? Don't give me, okay? They'll make CTE real, right? Don't play. All right? Thank you, Coach D. Chalk Talk with Coach D. Go to his podcast, Chalk Talk with Coach D. Go on, check his joke. Oh, my God. Go and check his page.
Check his page out.
Yes.
Thank you, Polo, for coming on.
Polo, compa. And thank you, everybody who was watching. We appreciate it.
You're wrong. That's all.
He hopes that he's wrong too, okay?
Polo was I need to be brought in as a compa. I deserve my patch.
I was taught under Asylum, okay? Mr. Miyagi. So a patch should be awarded. All right, then, everybody. Have a good night. Take care. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, there's no other more crazy news. Well, hopefully, there's no other crazy.
No, hold on. If we go
negative,
we could hope for some crazy, but it's beneficial. Maybe we make a trade and get somebody that we need to help out the team, something like that. But yeah, no more.
I'm calling it right now. Because they're having a fire sale. Myles Garrett to the Raiders. Myles Garrett to the Raiders. Myles Garrett to the Raiders. All right. Sorry.
I like that right there.
I'm calling it because they need it. Their fire sale. Myles Garrett to the Raiders. Myles Garrett.
Today, Polo.
Can you imagine Miles and Max? Max and Miles? That's a T-shirt right there, okay? Okay, we'll keep going into overtime. All right, let's calm down. But I called it right now. On this show, my insiders say Myles Garrett to the Raiders. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. We'll see you on Friday. Make sure you get ready for Friday's show because we're going to do a little juju cleaning up. Get your favorite liquor ready because we're going to do this all together and try to get the bad juju out of SoFi, out of this team, and just come to watch our show because it's going to be a special show because we need this. We need to cleanse. We need to cleanse ourselves of all the bad juju, even if that is Davante Adams. Cleanse. All right. With that said, I want to say thank you. With that said, I want to say good night. Have a good evening. And always pray for the best. All right. I'm going to take it out. All right, then, everybody. Peace out. Good night. And that's it. Boom.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight again. I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.